Good evening, welcome to Talking Points. My name is Levi Kones. Tonight we are going to be having quite a unique show because this show will be marking the end of Talking Points for this season. Another show will be taking its place from next Wednesday going forward by one of my colleagues, Boaz Kemboy, and I will be moving to the morning sections between 10 and 11 a.m. So to mark this particular end to this particular show is a gentleman who has been with me for the last 3.5 years, Pan-African Forum Chairman, Dr. David Matsanga. Karibu sana.
Asante sana. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Allow me to remove my mask so that we can exchange blows.
We're not exchanging. It's a last show, so we're not exchanging.
Intellectual blows.
Intellectual blows.
Yes, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
They find us so interesting, they say we move to the morning.
Yes, that's okay. That is even better. Whether sunset, sunrise, sunset, middle, night, I'm ready to make sure that I promote CAS TV worldwide.
Right.
And because I like the chairman. The chairman is my friend.
Right.
And I will always promote his television station.
Thank you.
Wherever I am.
So our topic today is dissolving parliament, the pros and cons. But then there are certain interesting things that have happened in the political happenings of the week that we just cannot ignore. Like, for example, what just happened this afternoon. The Secretary General of Jubilee Party came out. He said, that the party was not going to hold, a candidate, was not going to have a candidate for the by-election that's soon happening in Msambweni to replace Solomon Dori, who was the MP, who was ODM, and talked about the spirit of the handshake and said, they would leave it for their brothers in ODM to fill that vacancy. Shortly after, we saw the Deputy President go to the Jubilee Party headquarters, and he came out. His supporters were on social media saying, something's going to change. And he came out and said he had a different view, but he has now accepted what the party has, put forth in terms of not having a candidate. What did you think about that whole happening of this afternoon?
First of all, Jubilee Party does not learn lessons. They don't learn from the past in Kibra. The Deputy President ran around with a man who is useless. He cannot even win a cock, anything. He cannot win votes. Because he played football, you think he can win a seat. No. A good party. When they formed this party, some of us, friends of the party, were very happy. This is a party with ideology. It was going to come up like ANC. I heard the Deputy President talk about ideology. I was very impressed. As a political scientist, first, and then as a friend, I knew this is the party that I liked, that I would like in the future or today or tomorrow. And unfortunately, the disappointments that I have seen of now, like the disappointment of this afternoon, is a mess, terrible mess. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment.
What does it say about the party and how they discuss their...
It's because I have told you, this party has got Machiavellian politics going on. It's simple, it's an embarrassment. The Secretary General came in, had made a decision. The lady came to do what? To do what? Who is pushing the lady to come?
Yeah, one wonders.
Who was pushing the lady to come? The party says it cannot afford to put a candidate at this time, at a pandemic. You see, one of the things that is making me very disturbed about Kenya, Kenyan situation, is you have forgotten we have a pandemic. And you are doing things like mad people.
But we are flattening the curve, Daktari.
Are you not mad?
Like flattening the curve.
Are you Maraga?
Are we not flattening the curve?
Like
we are coming
no,
to him.
Look,
but are we flattening the curve?
The curve is going, but there could be a
so
wave.
Shouldn't we be getting back to some normalcy?
There could be a wave. Britain is locking down. Europe is locking down. China is locking down. Who are you? Who are you people? You are even telling people's children to come back to school next week. Nyenye, one of these days you will end up in a trial. I'm telling you, these statements that you are making here, that we are all right, You've seen what is happening in Uganda now? It started so well, it is spoiled.
And things are going south, yeah.
Yes, it is spoiled. Because some of these leaders don't listen in Africa. They don't listen. Now, why are you calling?
But there's fatigue. People are saying, when will we get back to normalcy? What will happen to our
for
children?
you, do you know the disease?
You know.
What is the disease called?
It's called coronavirus.
Oh, which one? How does it travel?
I don't know.
Where
I can't give you the
where is
scientific...
it hidden that you are going to stop it to attack these children at school? Leave it, man. You are just creating too much chaos. You are too much consumed in the politics of scheming. You are scheming. That's why you get embarrassed. Like today, this afternoon, the deputy president was embarrassed. That's an embarrassment. The Secretary General, who is under you, cannot speak another language, then you come to speak. It is embarrassment. What is wrong with these people? Why don't they sit in the back room to stop confusing Kenyans? Kenyans, people are in a pandemic. Whether you're a Kenyan and you are caught here, you are in a pandemic. People want to live. People want to see what the next food is coming from. They are not interested in your schemes and machinations.
So you think today
of taking over party?
It's unfortunate. What do you think that tells us about the Jubilee Party?
No. The deputy president a few weeks ago said the party was what? Of brokers and chokora and what? What? You saw the words that were used. I said what? Oh my God. Brokers and there is a Swahili word used. Brokers and what? Matapeli. You know Matapeli is a name in Mount Elgon, isn't it?
Is it? I do not know.
Where you come from. Don't forget Matapeli on the other side of where I come from.
That was Matakwe.
Matakwe and Matapeli. We call them or Matapeli in the other side of my mountain. So embarrassment. Stop embarrassment. Look at the schemes. The question you are going to ask next is embarrassment again.
What do you think happens?
Everybody is running. Have you noticed that in East Africa, people are running away? Will you ask me this and I tell you?
But let me ask you.
I studied,
I
studied international relations.
Yes, I agree. But let me ask you, from purely a democratic outlook.
Yes.
Purely democratic.
Yes.
Surely. Aren't we killing democracy if we say a big party like Jubilee Party, a ruling party with majority members, a national party of its stature,
yes,
that has got members from Coast Province to Western Province and back and forth, fails to put up a candidate for a by-election, pandemic or no pandemic?
Yes.
No, Daktari, pandemic or no pandemic. Aren't we saying that we are doing democracy a blow? Surely, if we tell one party, you hold, and then we will be appointing a member of parliament.
Look here, I agree that is not very good for a ruling party. I agree. And I'm one of those people. You hate me, but I'm one of those. If you say the right thing, I will agree with you. I agree. We are killing the party. That too, we are machinations. We are making a lot of machinations in the party. This candidate is going independent. He's going to be supported by one of the members of the Jubilee wing.
Yeah, absolutely. He said...
Probably.
He was asked the question and he said...
Yes.
He said, quote, if she talks to me nicely...
No, why are you not...
I will.
No, for me, I don't hide. I don't talk like you like that.
Yeah.
The deputy president is going to support this woman.
He said if she talks to him
nicely. She is going to support. I know him. I'm an elder. At 64, you think I cannot tell the brain? I studied the subject.
What will that mean?
I studied the subject.
What will that mean, though, in terms of the political landscape?
Morphology. I could understand.
What will that mean, though?
When he stood there during daytime in the afternoon, I understood what he wanted to do.
What will that mean?
He is going to support this woman.
In terms of the party outlook, what will it mean?
It's a PR exercise. I'm taking you to that route. Uliza maswali ingine. This is the last show, and I will hammer you. Uliza. He's going that route, and it is showing the true colors of scheming. When you read the book The Prince by Nikolai Machiavelli, you will find who is a Machiavelli in the Kenyan politics. Scamming and light. You know, today is one example of what so many other
So let me ask. So here's a question.
Yes.
If the Jubilee Party
Yes.
cannot have a candidate for a by-election in Msambweni, citing one of the reasons as financial.
Do they have it? Do you have the money?
No. That's it's a statement I'm about to finish. Yes. Citing that as one of the reasons, be it as it may. Then does it mean that they can dissolve Parliament and hold?
Who can dissolve?
And hold elections? So I'm moving you there.
Who dissolve Parliament for what? Because of this lunatic. Have you ever heard of a lunatic express?
Well, you know, that's
please.
That's a excessive reference to the Chief Justice.
Yes, and I'm going to be more excessive. If you tackle me, don't tackle me like that. I'll tell you, me and Maraga, you know my problem.
I know.
You have from
history.
2000.
But let's go step by step, because now we're going to talk about
from 2000 and no, listen first. When Maraga was in Nakuru, I was fighting for the release of Uhuru Kenyatta, William Ruto, Joshua Stang, Kosige, Major Ali, Mudhaura, and who else?
Those are the 6.
Yes, I was doing it. And don't remind me. I know what happened.
What did he do? He didn't have anything to do with the case.
Who was the judge in Nakuru?
He was judge in Nakuru for
who released the 600 people to go home free. Remember, I was also doing my. I was against the ICC completely, and I met these guys, Lev, the NGO men, Lev. I met them meeting this guy here. And the following day, the week, Ocampo had asked them to stop any prostitution in Kenya. So that, because we were filing, I had filed an application.
So that a case would be made for a prosecution outside.
You can bring back the case to Kenya.
I hear what you're saying.
So Ocampo came and used NGOs. 4 men, I saw them in a hotel, 4.
So that's your background.
And now, wait,
Dr.
it brings me. I have.
That is the background of your personal.
Is it personal?
Personal history and vendetta.
Let me ask
the
you.
Chief Justice.
Was it personal? Was I the one in the dock? I was doing it for this country.
Okay. Fast forward, the guy
later on vindicated. I have been vindicated for what I did. I came out the cleanest man that you can never. What will you do?
But against all the odds, Daktari, against all the odds.
Yes.
It is what it is. He's the Chief Justice.
Then he moved on.
He became Chief Justice.
He became.
I want to move us forward because
he became a Chief
no matter
Justice.
What happened, he
became a Chief Justice. Screening after his academic papers. He was interviewed, cleared by a parliament which had no women. Women were fewer in the parliament. That was an illegality. Why didn't he refuse? Why? I'm asking him, he's going to listen to this.
That's a good question.
Why didn't he refuse to be cleared by a parliament that had no 2/3? A constitution of Republic of Kenya had been done in 2010. I was here, I witnessed it, I sat, I can tell you the seat number. Why didn't he refuse to be cleared by a parliament? Give me this case, I'll floor any judge anywhere.
So that happens.
Give it to me.
That happens.
Don't give too much money. Give it to me. It is a very simple case. Which parliament do you want to dissolve? Msitishatishe Uhuru. Which parliament? You want to resolve what?
Well, the constitution does accept.
No.
It does make room.
Let's go. Let's go slowly.
Yes.
You can't read the constitution. I have it here, but I can give you to read.
Absolutely.
Open Article 27. 27, let me summarize it for the matter of time. You can't read 261 without reading Article 27, 6 and 7.
What does it say?
A clear time frame. It did not give time frame. When? So you must, it is not only one particular department of government to be responsible.
And yet, Daktari, hold on. And yet, even if it didn't give time frame,
let me teach you.
Let me say something because
I want to teach you.
Yes, you're going to teach me, but let me just jump in there. Even if it didn't give a time frame, it does say that Parliament, after 21 days of this resolution coming from
where
the resolution,
Parliament,
and this was a suggestion.
Can you read it where they have written 21? Don't tell me these stupid words of a Congolese who was masqueraded as a Kenyan here.
Which one?
What channel? You'll find out.
Which Congolese are we talking about?
My friend, I've never bought an identity card here. Although I have money, I can buy an identity card. I'm a Ugandan. I will remain a Ugandan. If Kenya honors me one day with an identity card, I will be happy. But don't tell me these words of some men who are drunk with stupidity.
I think I know who you're alluding to.
Yes,
but
you'll ask him. There's not, yes, because he will not, if you press me more, I will mention his name. He's a very naive, he's a man that has brought the profession of lawyers down to the gutter. Let him hear my words. I found him at Java. I sat him down and I told him, please, you are killing the profession of lawyers. Some of our children,
but Daktari,
my daughters,
if we go step by step,
my daughters are lawyers.
Look, Daktari, this thing obviously annoys you quite a bit.
Well,
but let's just go
annoys me.
This whole situation.
Are you not annoyed as a Kenyan?
I am.
Do you have the money to hold an election?
I don't.
Who is the referee in this election? This is Chebukati, this man here.
Those are the questions I was about to ask you. Like if
let's finish them because I have answer for. I told you
if that would be
a lunatic.
Look, if we go for the cons of a dissolution, okay, the pros of a dissolution are simple. You know, the 190 is tired of the MPs.
Of what?
They would have liked
Who
to
told
see,
you he's tired?
Look,
they are tired
we
of
have
what?
a parliament that is bloated in terms of numbers,
So,
bloated in terms of... I'm just telling you, in terms of cons, of pros, bloated in terms of salary and intake and always, adding their wages left, right, and center. And on top of that, we have a parliament that is for all intents and purposes right now lacking an opposition. It's like, there's no one who is checking what government is doing. So in that regard, Wananchi would like to see a change, perhaps.
Being patriotic does not mean you lack opposition. The members of parliament are patriotic to the nation called Kenya to keep peace.
Daktari, the opposition is stifled. Come on.
Excuse me.
It's stifled.
But there is peace. Why have we come here tonight? I'm here tonight and I'm leaving, going home. I don't have an enemy.
Even when there was opposition, we came here.
No, you remember we could even, we had blows up there. You remember with a woman called Olga. Have you forgotten?
Yeah, on this joy.
She almost finished me.
I remember.
Because of being a very strong lover.
Both of you are very passionate.
Passionate for Uhuru
for your parties. You are both passionate for your parties.
Yes, for Jubilee. The woman wanted to pour hot water on me. On your show. And we are doing it under very tough conditions.
True.
In this, I have suffered for Cats FM. And let people hear that. And then you look at, finally, don't lose my point of thought. I state, if you have a man, a mature man at the age of 69, waking up in the morning, in the middle of a war, and goes to make a declaration when soldiers are on the battlefield, that is one of the most dangerous, lonely lonely, and I studied psychology.
Yeah, and we need to go for the break, Dr.
Yes,
so
he's a lonely ranger. He's a lonely man who has problems. He needs treatment.
Wow. What a verdict.
Yes.
We're going to take a break on that note. When we come back, more on Talking Points. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Talking Points. My name is Levi Kones. We are here with Dr. David Matsanga, Pan-African Forum chairman, and we are talking about the current political happenings of the week. We've been discussing about whether to dissolve parliament or not, and the pros and cons of doing that. And Dr.
Yes.
Do you think the president will dissolve parliament?
To dissolve, who would, in all this, in the midst of all this confusion, to dissolve a parliament and then do what?
And then send us back to the ballot.
And then?
So we can come back and get the 2/3.
With disease, which is here. Disease is here. With an electoral commission, which is more or less electoral theft.
Some people think
there is no electoral mechanism so far. It's what brings violence in Kenya.
Yeah.
So,
and we would need the same.
Who needs
it would be interesting because we would need the same parliament.
Yes.
To approve funds.
Funds for who will
for
approve,
that electoral commission.
Who will approve? So Maraga lacked what we call doctrine of law. I want to teach him something.
But he said,
he
said, Daktari, let me ask you.
Let this point not be missed by
Chief Justice
Kenyans.
Maraga said this. Listen, Daktari.
Yes.
He said that he tried to consult with
who?
With both speakers of the House.
So if you consult,
he said that he sought
why did he wait
a meeting with the
16 weeks before his departs?
And this particularly matter of let's talk about this 2/3 gender role matter.
Even if you now,
what is stopping us from enacting it? What has stopped us since 2010? Successive parliaments, the 11th parliament came in and they did. This is now the 12th parliament.
How many members are supposed to be in the parliament? 330 what?
Then
290.
290, yes, elected. Yes.
What does the Constitution of Kenya say? 290 members of parliament. Have you cleaned that constitution to remove that? Because it's a hinging article. You can't just, it is a hinging article that stops you from expanding the parliament. So even if now you terminate, you dissolve the parliament, you needed to dissolve, you needed to go to the people to ask for mandate to expand the parliament, to have 129 or something women on top of the constituencies. How are you going to transcend men, MPs, into women? How are you going to do it? Logically, Maraga can have the law. He can be a chief justice.
But
listen,
when we put
Maraga
that law
can be a chief justice until Angel Gabriel comes back.
When we put the law in, Daktari, we envisioned a situation.
I am explaining the rationale now.
Yes.
Of you dissolving the parliament now. You need to look at the law. The law says 290 MPs elected directly.
Yeah.
Now, you tell me, how are you going to fix this?
This law was there. When they were writing this constitution, Daktari, what were they thinking
The
about?
time frame.
What were they envisioning?
Is there a time frame?
No. But what was the vision behind?
The 2/3 could be got in 2022.
Behind the 2/3.
No, it could be got in 2022. You need Kenyans to go. You want MPs to kill each other, or you want the MPs to die because Maraga is going to say you must have 2/3. You want the speakers to force people to vote. Where is the universal suffrage? A man has freedom to choose.
Are you suggesting that this law cannot work?
It can't work. The motion was brought. and it was brought.
But it's in our constitution, which we passed.
Yes, but so if the constitution...
Which at that moment, many experts said, this is the most progressive constitution in the world. Let us pass it.
But progressive didn't. Ruto.
That's what many of us told us.
Ruto refused this constitution.
So are you saying that he was smarter than many who said yes at that moment?
At that moment, there were things that he was right. Why is he coming back through another door? Hello? There's a wider plan to destabilize President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta's legacy. Every morning at 5 a.m. I write about the legacy. I have 3 books that I write and I leave for free for Kenyans to read. If God permits me to be there, I'll read them and my children will read them. Don't tell me there is a wider plan of George Soros sponsored mechanisms.
Somebody would dismiss that as just conspiracy.
Every time you would say, okay.
And just say, that's conspiracy.
Okay. Do you know something called ILDO?
No.
You want to know it?
What animal is that?
It's not an animal, it's an organization that invited Mr. Maraga to Lithuania and Hungary after he had nullified an election. I have the ticket numbers, the hotel numbers, the food he ate, every receipt, I have them in my house. I'm an investigative journalist, you know that. Do you know that?
But there are some
members.
No,
do you know that?
Some members.
Tell the public.
Look, what I find very interesting here,
why
Dr.
can't you listen?
In 2017, there were some members of Jubilee as a party that, said that, you know,
where did Maraga go?
They said the nullification was a travesty. They even called the Wakora network. But we have got members of the same party right now,
yes,
who are welcoming this and saying, you know what?
Okay,
let's go back to Rudi Kwadebe.
I have just told you. I have just told you who is working with Maraga now. Maraga has got an external funder and an internal funder within Kenya.
But don't you think,
this
in terms of, because when we look at issues,
Maraga is working under very serious pressure.
Okay, I don't want to
either you take the money, you return the money, or you nullify Uhuru Kenyatta's government. That is the position.
That's an allegation, because we
it's not.
We can't prove that.
It's not.
You can only say that.
Dissolving
is what you think.
Excuse me. Dissolving a parliament, isn't it nullifying Uhuru Kenyatta's government? How is Uhuru going to function?
We haven't heard whether the executive will still be there or not.
How? Even to propose it in the middle of a war of COVID-19. Are you normal? Are you not a lunatic?
Yet, Daktari, there are some who think and are of the opinion that this thing favors the president. And favors the president because...
If it favors the president...
Because now he can ask Parliament to do something with a gun on their heads.
No.
There's some who are saying that and saying,
hygiene.
Look, and tell them, look...
Africa should have hygiene.
You do this or I pull the trigger of dissolution.
Okay.
You know.
Africa should have hygiene. African politics should have hygiene. I swear, before God takes me, let's have hygiene in African politics. President Uhuru Kenyatta is the president of the Republic of Kenya.
This doesn't favor him.
He has 23 months before he leaves power. Forces led by the same man who went to Lithuania, the same man who went to Hungary, the same man who met the executive director of Open Society Foundation with 5 NGO men.
Those forces are doing what?
You know what they are doing.
But you haven't answered my question.
Yes, the forces are pressing for a regime change.
But you have not told me if this favors the president.
It doesn't. Well, how does it favor the president? It kills his legacy.
Because people are
edgy. Wastes time.
Because
parliamentarians
are edgy. The PSC has come out guns blazing to run to court for interpretation and also to make sure that they put an injunction.
Which court? The same Maraga court?
How do you go to
Maraga?
They put an injunction there.
Maraga cannot interpret this. If Maraga was a human being who has brains, who has studied the doctrine of law. The doctrine of law is different from being a chief justice.
I hear you. So, Daktari, you're saying the political pundits look at it from different aspects.
Yes.
You are just, you have your own, issues with the Chief Justice.
I don't have my own, I am...
But you attack him very viciously. You even suggest that he is not fit to hold office, or he does not have the capacity. And yet, he already became Chief Justice. So no. It is what it is.
The statement of mine against anybody, I'm not against Chief Justice Maraga. I'm against people who connived in 2011 to take these younger men, including Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta, and the rest to ICC. Maraga is one of them. I found him in Nakuru in America Hotel, seated with 5 people.
That's an allegation, Dr.
Okay, fine.
That's why we have a disclaimer on this show. We say, that the opinions are do not reflect the opinions of caste, its management, or anything like that. But I will say it
anywhere on the planet Earth, because I have the photographs and the evidence to prove. Don't forget, I defeated Ocampo and Fatu Besoda. I will defeat anyone.
So basically, as we run into the final leg of our minutes,
yes,
that question to dissolve or not to dissolve Parliament,
yes,
your answer is a resounding no.
Don't try. Your Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, don't try. Dissolve and go where? Instead, dissolve Maraga. Pack him 16 weeks. Let him not finish them.
As a constitutional expert,
I have Maraga. There is no constitution.
Does it concern you, Daktari?
There is no constitution.
As a constitutional expert,
yes,
what you're advocating for is a direct violation of a constitutional provision. And this has happened over the years since this 2010 constitution came in.
Did you read the Bible?
We have seen it violated. And for lack of better words,
have you ever read the Bible? Do you read the Bible?
Many times.
Are you a Christian?
Very much.
Have you ever heard of the word necessity has no law? When your child drops in a pit latrine on Sunday, do you wait to pick him on Monday? If you answer me that, I'll go home.
But there's no law saying that I cannot do it on Sunday.
Listen, if your child
falls on the Sabbath, you mean?
In Tarubo, where my sister is, she's there, falls in a latrine. Do you wait until Monday morning? Because you have a constitution. Because you have a constitution, your country is going to chaos. If you dissolve the parliament, the country goes to war, to conflict. People will fight here. People will demonstrate here. Do you wait and say the constitution is very good? Do you? That's why Jesus asked the people. I am now not Jesus. I'm asking you. Necessity has no law. To break the constitution, we have time, 23 months. Let Kenyans come out and decide on the constitution.
Dictators use that very well.
No, you cannot use it. Is Maraga not a dictator?
They'll use that
is he not a dictator?
To get away with stuff, and say necessity has no law.
Is there any normal common sense leader of any political party from Wetangula, Musalia? You have seen what they have written. Wetangula says this was not necessary.
He's in parliament.
Is Musalia Mudavadi in parliament? He said this was not necessary. Only leaders who have fed from NGO, like Orengo, he's an NGO lawyer, NGO, and he cannot do without an NGO, because I know his problem.
But he said he didn't really support it. Just it's an interesting point of discussion.
It's an interesting, because you don't even say that. You just say straightforward. It's not a very good thing. It is the law, but it's not a very good one at this moment. That's all I can say. Don't say I'm encouraging people to break the law. No way. It is needed, but not at this time. One of the things of the laws of nature is timing. Even when Kaisafai, what is
Kaisaro.
Kaisai, the one who killed Jesus.
Yes, Caesar, but Kaisero.
Yes.
Kaisero.
Kaisero. Timed for Jesus.
It wasn't just anyhow.
No, they timed.
He didn't go when he was feeding the 5,000 people.
No.
He would have been finished.
But Maraga had the time. He should have taken his time, not this timing. No Kenyan will want to go to election mood now. No. How do you do it? We don't even have the Huduma number. You don't have, we don't have anything. How do you start to scientifically allow people to go and vote? You don't have it.
And we don't have
the
reconstituted
data.
IEBC. That's
Yes,
the most,
we don't have IBC. We don't. Chebukati is even being. People are suggesting to buy him off. Don't say it is an allegation, but it is serious.
I think the problem
the people want to buy.
We don't have a electoral body that all of us have 100% confidence in.
It is not there. How would you correct? How do you conduct an election?
And you need to be confident in the referee to play the game.
Yes, I saw this lady. This lady coming all the way from Mombasa. She's very beautiful. And
the one from Sambweni.
Yes, naturally, nature likes beautiful people. And I'm very happy that the DP was very, comforted her.
What's your point, Dr.?
No, my point is, I leave it there. Necessity has no law. That's my point.
We are out of time.
Necessity has no law. Take it to the bank. This is the last show of talking points. Necessity has no law. If the Constitution can wait and we save the people first, it can wait. Wallahi ya Mungu. There was no need of a rush. Mr. Maraga has 16 weeks. Why does he open a Pandora box to go badly? He suffers from loneliness. He doesn't want to live. Loneliness is a very big disease. You know, it can cause suicide if you are not careful. In Britain, I go to police stations. They call me as an editor, a person, voluntary work, psychology. Anybody who has studied psychology in a university, you register. Certificates, you go pick here, 2, 3, 4. I'm called to go to police stations. Then they bring this younger man in a glass. Then the police say, write notes about them. Write. 2 pages, 3 pages. You can say that one there is suffering from something that could lead him to do something. Then the police take, these are systems. They take your notes, they take another notes of another lady, another man, not only you.
Then they make a comparison.
Yes. So me, if you give me 200 pages to write about Maraga, why? I'll write and demand more.
Oh, I'm pretty sure you will.
Yes.
Because we have to end the show. What's your final thought?
My final thoughts about is help President Uhuru Kenyatta to steer this country peacefully. Peacefully. We are at dangerous times when the economy might not be very good. All over the whole world, there's a pandemic, and uncertainty is coming. So it is better for His Excellency the President to be helped. Wherever you are, wake up and help. Contribute. Don't contribute to destroy. Contribute to build. It is better to have a democracy that is civilian than to have a democracy that has military men, like where I come from.
Point again.
Where I've suffered, where I've lost my family, I've lost some. Please, you don't know what trouble it is to have a conflict like the ones that we have had. Some of us never knew would be here. Therefore, help to unite Kenyans. Don't do night meetings. God created two things, daytime and night. At this moment, we're at night here. Whatever meetings you are taking place, telephones that are called, I also listen to. So you could be thinking you are a mafioso. You are the highest man, nobody's listening to your phone. They listen to them, all these phones we talk to. And they can know who is making some moves, who is meeting who where. So don't do things in darkness. Then you come in daytime, embarrass yourselves.
Point second.
The embarrassment, you have seen it today. In the afternoon, as I came, I saw, in the afternoon I was embarrassed. The party speaking in two mouths, another one this. Then you see Maraga, lunatic express of the America from the east to west coast.
It's very harsh. We're gonna end the show on that note. Thank you so much.
I want to thank your management, the CAS TV, the chairman, the family, and all of you for having hosted me, for me having endured the night, night darkness of coming here.
You've done well.
Yes, freely.
Yeah, staying away from your family many nights.
Yes. No, my family is very far, but still I have sacrificed my life to come out at times some of these things. But the things that I talk is not, there is no hatred against anybody. It is, I love Kenya and I love the people of Kenya. Above all, I love Jubilee Party.
That is one, that you don't even have to say, we know.
Yes,
we can see.
And I love His Excellency, President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, with or without, whether I'm here, in Britain, in Harare, in South Africa. Can I tell you where? Again, where do you want me to?
Any other places
or any other place
you go to.
Where a global citizen can stay.
Yeah, or at the Hague.
No, not a Hague, yes.
Yeah,
I'm the only one who can go to the Hague. There are people here.
Yeah.
You cannot,
we have to end this show that time.
There are people here who you cannot take to the Hague, like a Itumbi cannot step near the Hague. And
he'll tweet about you. All right, we're going to end the show on that note.
He did what?
He's going to tweet about you.
He can't tweet about me because he's the younger man I took to the Hague on a plane. He didn't know how to handle the fork on the... So
that's enough. We have to end the show.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I thank you very much.
Right.
Thank you, viewers.
Yeah, from us on Talking Points, thank you for watching Talking Points over the last year and a half when we started this particular show. And we hope to join you every Monday to Friday, 10 to 11 a.m. Catch me then on 59 Minutes. We'll be discussing everything: politics, entertainment, music, arts. We'll even be going back to the Mwananchi. Monday to Friday starting today. Actually decided yesterday. So today, tomorrow, check out the show. 10 o'clock in the morning, I'll be there, as well as Friday morning. See you then. God bless you. Actually, when I call you in the mornings, you will make time.
Yeah, right? Of course. I wake up at 5. I wake up at 3. You have seen me online.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my phone now, the best phone on earth again crashed.
We'll find time.
But you can't find.
You're a guy of means. You'll be fine.
No, you can't take any data.
You'll be fine.
It goes back to the sender.
Or we'll give you Mulika Mwizi.
No, I've got one. Thank you very much.
We end on that note. Good night. God bless you. See you on Thursday morning, tomorrow morning. And watch out for the new show coming up with Boaz Kemboy and his team. God bless. Good night.
A very good morning to you, and thank you so much for joining us. Of course, that was a clip from a show Dr. did there on CAS TV. Thank you so much. This is Unfiltered, and today we're going to look at the week that was. We had so much activities going on over the week, from that advisory by CJ Maraga. Yesterday we saw that the court halted that advisory, and also we've seen how LSK through its chair, Nelson Harvey, have been responding to this matter. So we have so much to look at this morning. Thank you so much for joining us. us. And with me, or with us on the panel this morning, we are joined by Karen Josephs, all the way from Malindi. Karen, if you can hear me, a very good morning to you. All right, as we wait for Karen there to be able to join us, of course, Doctor also is on the other side from the Political Command Center. When he's ready, he'll join us, perhaps to take us through very quickly the figures in COVID-19 as they stand this morning. And Kenya so far has recorded a total of 37,489 cases. The death toll is 669. Recovery stands at 24,334, and Uganda 7,064 cases. 70 people have since died in Uganda, and 3,226 have recovered. In South Africa, the figures right now stands at 667,049, and the death toll is 16,283, and recoveries is 595,916, and the total cases in Africa this morning stands at 1,429,273. The death toll is 34,559, and recoveries is at 1,175,411. So far, that is where we stand in Africa this morning in regards to COVID-19. Karen, a very good morning to you. All right, we seem to be having a problem there, and Doctor also is working on joining us soon, as well as Professor. So let's just, as we wait there, I think Karen is waiting to be admitted there. As we look at the leading newspapers this morning, as I wait for the rest of the panelists to join, we see on the Star newspaper, the main front pages there, the headline says Akinyi's wars of 60 million Kenya shillings at stake. A vehicle seized. A search in her home last year yielded 1,050 grams of heroin. This is a story that has been dates back to a couple of years ago. A business woman, Joyce Akinyi, there is in trouble with the law again. And beside it there, why Ruto has 1 foot out of ruling Jubilee Party. The story is on page 4 and 5 of the Star newspaper. And then court to rule on jailed Sirisia MP John Waluke, bail pending his appeal. So let's just see this, because remember he was handed over a 67-year term. Let's see what the story says as I wait for the rest there to find their way on the panel. I think the story is on page 9. Page 9 of, I see Karen, you're there. Karen, good morning.
Good morning, Miriam. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you today?
Very fine, thank you.
All right, okay. So I was just reading this story about Waluke and the bail that maybe the story is on page 9. Let's just get through it so that we know what's really happening. Sirisia Member of Parliament John Waluke will on Friday, that is today, know if he will be granted bail pending his appeal. Waluke and Grace Wahungu were convicted of fraud involving 313 million Kenya shillings in shady maize dealings with the National Cereal Produce Board. Wahungu was sentenced to 69 years in jail with an option of 1 billion Kenya shillings fine, while Waluke was handed over 67-year a sentence or a similar fine. The two have since appealed against the convictions. In Article 103, Sub-Article B of the Constitution says the Speaker shall declare the seat vacant if a member misses 8 sittings. So, all right. So Waluke has a lot of, even his job now is at risk as a member of Parliament. Therefore, Sirisia. And on the front pages of the Standard newspaper, Uhuru call that shattered Ruto's plans. A game changer there on the front pages. It says it was a 30-minute call that saw DP half-heartedly back a party decision not to field a candidate in Msambweni poll, but he said tongues wagging yesterday when he met an independent aspirant. And so this is a story we talked about here yesterday, Karen, about that meeting that Deputy President William Ruto went to have at the Jubilee headquarters was there hoping that Jubilee would, field a candidate for the by-election in Msambweni, only for him to learn that the Jubilee Party had no intentions of fielding a candidate for Msambweni because that was an ODM stronghold, and so in the spirit of the handshake, they just did not see the point of, fielding a candidate there. So apparently now we learn here President Kenyatta made a phone call. Of course, the details are on page 6, so I'm not sure who he called. But the details are on page 6 of the Standard newspaper. And up there, and this will form a basis of, our topics as we shall be looking the week that was. This is just part of the things we shall be looking at. So that's why I don't want to go too much into the details because we shall be doing that in a short while. And then up there, Maraga advice halted as LSK piles pressure. Occupy Parliament, LSK rise to authorities indicating House stands dissolved on October 12th, even as court stops implementation. I mean, Harvey, when you see him in these press conferences and how he has been responding to this matter, it looks so important to him. He's really, I don't know. Have you watched Nelson Harvey when even yesterday when he was having that press conference and calling on Kenyans and calling, directing Matiang'i what to do and the police inspector and all of that? Is he outstepping his mandate as the LSK chairperson?
I think, Miriam.
Yes.
From the way the looks are, Harvey has become personal. He has gone very personal. I don't think the Law Society of Kenya can end up doing the things that Harvey is talking about. It is just medium. It's just 2%. Let's be very honest. Because if you see a man saying that he is going to occupy Parliament, he's doing it, he's taking it a personal step further to even occupy Parliament and tell people it's part of the regime change, it's part of a wider scope that I told people, but the people never understood. Now it is here, it has arrived. We are here, and we can't run away from it. It is, they have been doing a regime change quietly, and they have got what they want. And that is the situation, Miriam. He says he's occupying the Parliament. That is confrontation. That is the state. Now you are preparing the state for confrontation. At the same time,
all right. He seems to be spoiled for our confrontation there by the government. And, when you watched how Harvey was talking about yesterday and how he was talking yesterday while addressing the press conference there. And some of this, he was not even issuing advisory. He was sort of giving orders of some sort, and he's saying this has to be followed, this has to be done, otherwise this is what will happen if this is not done. Karen, good morning.
Yes, good morning, Miriam. And I picked what you just said, that he wasn't giving advice. It was as if he was giving out orders. And that was so correct. That is what I saw. And I feel like he is indeed going beyond his boundary. Some time back, he was for, taking people to march to Parliament. So I think he is just taking it too far. Just the way Dr. said, he's taking it too personal. And he should know the difference between, appealing and giving orders. I think he is just taking it too far, Miriam.
All right, very well.
Not even too far, but Karen, you are right, too far, but he is now even threatening the judges. He said as if he controls the judges. He has got his mafia clique that controls the judges. He knows they will pay them. They know what they... You see, there is one thing that the government I don't know where the government knows it, but it should be knowing. But I don't know why the government cannot crack on this. There's no government that can allow this. And we are trying to be very honest, and let's be very honest and frank to each other. We are pushing towards a state of despondence, and the government itself is watching as we push very far. If you hear what the MPs were saying in Kajiado yesterday, that is not, nobody cares about Uhuru Kenyatta. You look at that. They are not, and the deputy president is seated there watching people lambasting the same government that is in. What is going on here? What is really going on? Surely what is going on here? Maybe some other people know what we don't know, but you can't allow a man, you have given freedom, yes, but you cannot, do you know we are halting, we are hurtling towards a very dangerous scenario. These things started like that in Egypt. They started like that in Tunisia. They started like that in so many countries. People died. You saw yesterday people digging a road that Kenyans have spent money on it, because they are saying their MPs being harassed. It is being done, and the roadness is coming. We are watching. The government is watching. Is there something which is wrong? You look at the way things, Miriam, I have a feeling there's something which is not right here. The deputy president sits in a meeting where MPs come to harass the same government that they serve. And when he stands up to speak, he went to condemn security agencies. So
under his government,
there is one thing lacking here. You cannot remain and say we are in government when there is a situation which is not controllable. All these events are hurtling towards despondence. And once that despondence picks up among the population, I'm telling you, we might not be able, everybody, look at the way when Maraga issued this statement. Even elders who don't want violence, they are quiet. People are not going to Mr. Harvey to tell Mr. Harvey, please, let the judges even do their work. Harvey is warning judges openly that whoever comes across this matter is even telling you saw what he said. That whoever comes out across this matter, you should handle it. Hey, is this, where are we heading? That is what I don't know. Mr. Let's bring in this, our correspondent from Nanyuki. Good morning. Good morning from Nanyuki. Hello. Good morning, Nanyuki. He will call again. But Miriam, I think there is something which is not very right here.
All right, very well. And of course, we're looking at the week that was. And
we don't know. Another thing, we don't know whether Mr. Harvey is infringing on the law or not. We don't know. Because if you want a government, you write a letter to the government not to pay. When the court order has not been done, what he's doing is preempting, saying the Chief Justice. He said the Chief Justice is the representative of people with delegated powers. The representative of people are MPs. The chief justice works on the laws of the MPs. And it seems that there's nobody in the government to come and say, set this record tough. There's nobody setting this record tough. Jermaine, if I'm wrong, one of these days you'll tell me, but I tell you, we seem to have, yes, my Nanyuki. Hello. Hello, Karanja in Nanyuki. Hello? Hello?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning too.
Yes, what is happening, man?
I'm back. Now I'm getting you loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much, Miriam. Is here. We are discussing
The week that was.
the week that was.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we are looking at the CJ Maraga's advice and the developments that have
I
come.
was following and I've heard what Karen has said and what Doctor is saying. And for me, I want to say Nelson Harvey. And I think being by the virtue of being called as the president of LSK, he thinks he is equal to the president of Kenya, who has been given mandate by millions of Kenya. That is why he is acting in those ways that he thinks that he can control everything, from the Judicial Service Commission to Kenyans by telling them to go on the street. Then he is telling the TS and the CS prosecution to take away security officers from the members of parliament. And I think he thinks that he is equal to the president of the Republic of Kenya. But I think by sharing that name president, he does not equal to be a president. And I think he should restrain himself and follow what he has been mandated to do but by the lawyers who elected him. I think he is taking these things too far, and that is not. But I think it's because he is under pressure to us. And I think the NGOs that Dr. talks about, this is the full manifestation of what they can do. They can even ruin a total mind, even thinking that they are equal to control these countries. These are people who are just with power. Yeah, that is my observation.
Yes, that is his observation from Karanja.
Mm-hmm.
He thinks the president of the LSK, I don't call it LSK, I call it RSK.
Yeah.
You can fill in the other letter for you.
It's automatic.
It's automatic. So we leave it to you as unaffiliated, fill in RSK, because every criminal who is being arrested, you find him being represented by Mr. RSK.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Sticking to his earlier threat, LSK President Nelson Harvey on Thursday said the society will lead Kenyans in occupying parliament if President Uhuru Kenyatta fails to dissolve parliament in 21 days. Let's just look at that first, and before we even continue with parts of that, press conference he had yesterday there. So he's saying 21 days, if President Uhuru Kenyatta fails to dissolve parliament, he will lead Kenyans to occupy parliament. Karen, what do you make of this?
Karen Josephs?
Yeah.
Or he could answer that from Nanyuki. What Harvey is saying, he will lead Kenyans to occupy parliament.
I think that is a call of form, and I think even that 21 days, I don't think they are even enshrined in our constitution. Therefore, Nelson has things from other quarters that are maybe things that will get power through the back door. I think that is a call for, and I think we must wait and see whether he has those numbers that will go and occupy the parliament. Because when he tells the president to act these 21 days, I don't think it is even in the constitution. The constitution does not give a timeline when the president will act. And I think yesterday the High Court overturned that decision, that that letter by the Chief Justice to dissolve the parliament. I think now he'll be acting, I don't know if he's acting from which orders, but maybe let's give him time and see what will actually write at the end of the day. But I don't think there's anything that will happen. The parliament will remain there, maybe 2022 or in case of a by-election. Yeah.
All right, very well. And you continue to say that following the advice by the Chief Justice to the President of the Republic of Kenya to dissolve Parliament, we notify you that members of the National Assembly and senators of the 12th Parliament will be unlawfully in office effective 12th October 2020, being 21 days from the date of the said advice. Have you told the National Treasury to withhold MP salaries from the said date since they had repeatedly failed to pass the crucial gender bill? I don't know. The Law Society of Kenya, is it even part of its responsibility to tell, say an institution like the National Treasury what to do? Who to pay and who not to pay?
You know what, Miriam? That is why I am wondering how much this democracy that Uhuru is giving to people. It is, it is going too far. His Excellency, the President and the authorities must come in to check this. If such letters are coming out to Miriam, there is something that I have not understood here. If such letters are now running to the ministry, you are now creating a state of despondency. What about an ordinary person to respect the rule of law? They will not. People will not. So it is time for us to recapture authority. Stop these political rallies. Let the President announce the stoppage of every political rally. And if Ruto goes against that will, at the moment, then the law takes place. Let's clear the pandemic, then people can go in. Let's talk the truth. Maybe it can help people. But you can't leave it a free way for everybody. You saw the type of words that are being said in Kajiado. Those are not very good words. And now it has proved to the world what I told people, that this is a scheme of Nikolai Machiavelli. You see all the MPs who are siding with the deputy president. I was right, and the people were harassing me and insulting me. Have you seen now? All of them are saying dissolve the parliament. They are saying dissolve the parliament, and there is nobody in the parliament who's trying to bring a motion of emergency. The parliament has gone home now. Over the weekend, they are going to politics. Nobody is bringing a motion on the floor as a private motion or a motion to discuss the conduct of this pending. The speakers, there's something feeling that some people are working on both sides. That is what I feel. And I hope people are listening to me. It looks like people are working on both sides. They want to please Ruto and at the same time please the president. There's something like that. Any person who has been on earth for 64 years cannot fail to see. Like me, I've seen something like that. Some people want to please the deputy president, and they don't want to come out to say, no, you are doing something very wrong. You cannot allow MPs. You are seated in a function, and the MPs are embarrassing your boss. They are even calling him whatever names you want. No, there's something which is wrong. Well, I don't know. Honestly, there's something wrong. Everything that the president is touching today is being counteracted. Kenya Kenyans forget so easily. Let's start with the first photographs of the plane crash in Turkana last year. If we have those pictures, where one helicopter that was being flown at night, and whose pilot was that one. Let's now explain the circumstances. Four Americans cannot just die, and America does not seek explanation. Who were they? Were they Americans? Wacha turudi nyuma. You have seen helicopter problems in this country. When the president wants to man and organize the helicopter situation so that all of them are in one place, they can be used as one. After all of them do security. Police, that's security. Kenya World Service, that's security. Kenya Power Lighting, that's security. Why the president is changing is because we have even helicopters that fly at night. Yes, people have helicopters, so you don't know where the enemy is coming from. You could be there when a helicopter comes, you think it is for KWS. Kumbe, it is a helicopter of terrorists. The way things are going in here now. So the president is right, 100% correct. The president is 100% correct in getting this entire thing locked up in one place. After all, it is the Air Force is linked to aviation. If there is trouble and the plane is coming, the Air Force will intercept that plane before it lands. So what is wrong with the Air Force manning the entire Kenyan airspace? The only people who are going to get worried are the people who are doing dubious businesses. Let's look at those pictures. I don't know where they have come.
They're searching for them. They're searching for them. Oh, it's there.
Yeah. So that is the situation, Miriam.
Mm-hmm. Do we still have Karanja on?
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, Karanja. Of course, yesterday's one of the papers yesterday, they were saying the takeover by the military to be the ones in charge of all the government, planes there. There was a bit of disquietness, especially in the police, a few of them there. So I think a doctor there has explained. I don't know, what is your take?
I think the president is doing a very good job because when the purpose of all these helicopters and the security agencies is to provide security to our country, and it will be controlled and managed from one center, then it will be okay. The Kenya Police, like KWS, their purpose and whatever they do is to give security to Kenya. And I think if they be controlled by the military agencies, then I think it will be well managed, because we know the securities they are professional and they act professionally, and I think they are people who follow the rule of law, and they are people who they know how to manage things, and we have seen how they manage their barracks and so on. We also saw what is happening in Nairobi after the general body started doing their work. Therefore, there are people who we can trust even with our aircraft. Yeah, thank you.
Right. I am very confident, and I'm very confident that the president has taken a right decision to hand over all government aircraft
to the military
in the hands of the Air Force. Anybody who has studied international intelligence will know that every airspace of any country in the world is manned by that particular Air Force of that country. You can't fly in America after 2000 to 11. You can't. What happened there has changed the course of action. Planes don't just simply do that. A plane is flying at night. What was it doing at night? We lost people there. Who are these people who were on the plane at night? Whose pilot was this person? Who was he? What were they carrying? So if you have planes of that nature, flying anyhow, even taking off at night, when they don't have night license to fly. Don't you think that is very abnormal? Mm-hmm. So I agree with the president. Two, also some of these members of parliament have been hiring helicopters through their parastatal heads who are planted there, who are corrupted there. You find Moses Kuria running from a nightclub, is running to a helicopter. It's already paid for. And then when you go to the books of like a Kenigen and other agencies, you will find that they have said there was an emergency of power. I was in Kakamega one day. We had gone for Amina Muhammadi's homecoming. One of the planes landed on a wire, on a house. Moses Kuria had to drop out from top of the house. Honestly, it stuck in the wire, in the electric wire, between the electric wire and the house. We had to do chairs, come down, you know? So they must be regulated. You can't disagree with the government about that. Last year we had one country complaining that its airspace was violated. I don't want to tell you something that I know about what is happening with the Uganda Airport Authority, Airspace Aviation Authority. There's something which is not right, Miriam. Mm-hmm. Planes that just come, you hear a person is called, I'm a VIP passing over. I want to come down and take fuel. But you have not informed them, you don't have the travel documents. You get into your plane, planes have become like a matter. You get into your plane and you think you'll just come. The airport simply says, I'm carrying a VIP. Okay? Mm-hmm. So it is for the better of us who are down here, who have nothing. While they are up there, it can come and land on you while you are eating your food, small food, which should not be lost. Mm-hmm. Imagine you have got unga for 100 shillings with 4 children, and while you are eating, then somebody comes to land on you. So that one, unfiltered, we say it is wrong. Let's move on to another one, Miriam.
All right, very well. And I know even on the front pages today, it is that story, Doctor, of the court that, halted CJ Maraga's advice to the president there. So maybe you just take a look at it and see what these petitioners and what the Justice Koril there did.
I can summarize it.
Yes.
For the sake of time, then Karen and Karanja can pick it from there.
Okay, go ahead.
The petitioners are seeking, and which they have managed to hold until the matter is really hard. It means Maraga's passed one stage. He should not have taken an advice alone single-handedly. Their challenging, was this consultative enough? including exhausting all ways through the court. If the court order was not adhered to, did Maraga return the court order? And where are the documents of the court order signed that they failed to take the court order, or they failed to adhere to the court order? They are not there. So there is a case which I agree with Judge Corril 100%. There is a case which must be determined. And for you to run to close the parliament, then later on you cause the hardships. The people who worked this have been instructed by George Soros. If you do this, we shall pour in more money, dollars. If you do this, we shall send you some dollars. So that is what the situation is. Mm-hmm. There is something. So the courts, for now, they will go before trial, mention, it could take 1 year, it could end tomorrow, it could end in 2022.
All right.
It is a waste of time that, first of all, these courts will not sit because there is COVID-19. If the other parties are not coming, Maraga is going in 2 months. There will be a new chief justice. He only wanted to set this country on fire and leave. That's it. Look at it, Miriam. What was the rationale? He could have left it for the new chief justice to handle. What was the rationale? It is anger. He has never managed his anger. His anger is so bad because it's pumped and fueled and skummed by money. If you don't do this, return our money. If you don't do this, and skummed by the thing that he has been promised to be the vice president, the deputy president in 2022 as a running mate. That is what has, you know, the guy is on fire, if you didn't know. We have intercepted quite a lot of evidence, intelligence. He's a running mate of Deputy President Ruto. They are running mate. And they are doing it. So why should we fight and fail to tell Kenyans? That close. Let's move to another subject. Karen.
Yes.
The way Maraga is acting is, there is something that he has got, which he has swallowed, that he cannot unswallow. Mm-hmm. Yes. Anybody can conclude that.
All right.
This man has been promised something. He has been told, you are Jabba. You will be here.
All right.
So there.
Yes. So yesterday, Karen, before you come in, the High Court has suspended a recommendation by Chief Justice David Maraga to dissolve Parliament. Members of Parliament can now breathe a sign of relief after Justice Weldon Corril ruled yesterday that it will be unfair to subject the country to an election without interrogating the legality of the recommendation, and he's quoted as saying, "It is important to observe that it is in the public interest not to subject the country to parliamentary elections before exhaustively interrogating the constitutionality of the CJ's decision. A public interest, therefore, supports in issuance of the order suspending any decision to dissolve Parliament." We know 2 Kenyans had gone there to challenge that advisory by the CJ. But something here that was said by the lawyer that was representing these 2 Kenyans, Muturi Mwangi, he said, "It is clear from the wording of his advisory," that is the advisory by CJ, to the president, that he was influenced by outside forces to make the decision. The CJ is therefore guilty of gross misconduct as he failed to act independently and in accordance with the Constitution. Karen, this lawyer is saying the CJ is actually out of order and he is guilty of gross misconduct.
Yes, a very big statement, Karen. Sorry to jump in. It's very, Miriam, that's what I told you. There is someone pushing the Deputy Chief Justice. Go, don't worry. Put chaos. While we are also putting chaos on the ground, telling the people of Kajiado, dissolve How can a woman like Kihika, Susan Kihika, whom I thought she was worth, such a beautiful woman, has turned, her words have made her look so ugly. You know, the words she talks. You know, one person has manned all these women. They have turned into, even women who are married, have turned into unmarried women. Eh? They trim the whole, one person namna hivi. You saw what Susan Kihika was saying. Dissolve it. We go. Now, then you go and do what? If this parliament is dissolved, this country can run into chaos. Because everybody will say, kumbe, there is no rule of law, no parliament to make laws, no parliament to pass the money that you want. You see, when they sat down, Miriam and Karen and Karanja, they thought that they can do this. They had got a good strategy to destabilize Uhuru Kenyatta. This is all aimed at cutting President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy in the middle. Don't forget that. It's just to cut President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy in the middle. They wanted him to lose these 2.5 years. That's it. They don't want anything to do with him. So they calculated as the Maraga strikes in the court, we also go on the ground and ask for the nullification, dissolution of parliament. Now it has backfired. The man who should agree is nowhere to be seen. Is not going to agree. The basic thing we do is going to be the numbers in parliament. And those numbers in the parliament, if we reach there this time, if honesty is to prevail, it will prevail in the hands of a very simple person, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Honesty will prevail. The numbers will not vote to let Uhuru down. They will vote to make Uhuru stronger. Let these guys get it very clear. Yes.
All right, very well. So, Karen, we hear there the lawyer that was representing these two Kenyans who went to court to challenge that advisory by the CJ, saying that it is clear from the wording of his advisory, that is the wording of CJ's advisory to the president, that he was influenced by outside forces to make the decision. The CJ is therefore guilty of gross misconduct as he failed to act independently and in accordance to the Constitution. So what they're saying is the Chief Justice, this was not him speaking. People were using him to advance their own agenda, and so they're saying he is guilty of gross misconduct.
Yes, I got that clearly, Miriam, and I agree totally. And I am so glad that they know that it's just not him, but it's
It is what?
We seem to be having a problem there with her signal since yesterday. Yes.
Karen?
Yes, please, my signal.
Sorry about that. Are you able to hear us now?
Yes, I can. I can
go
hear
ahead.
you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that it's so good to know that they know that it's just not him involved, but it's a scheme that involves so many other people. It involves so many other parties. So out of order, yes, I agree. And that brings us to what Dr. Masanga was saying. He wrote this in the morning on necessity. He said this in that interview, and he's been talking about it. Necessity has no law. So if you look at this whole plan, this whole scheme, we're not saying that there's something wrong with it, but we're looking at the time. We're looking at the time, and obviously, since it is a scheme, it's a plan. With so many people to bring down the legacy, we cannot. us right now. It's just not necessary.
Yeah.
All right, very well. And also, Justice Weldon Korir said dissolving Parliament will do more harm to the two-thirds gender representation objective, since there will be no guarantee that the fresh elections will have more women elected. It is likely to result in worse gender representation, which will lead to more crisis. I think that is what these two Kenyans said, not Justice Weldon Korir there. And Doctor, this is what we've been saying, since this advisory was given to the president. Even if you dissolve Parliament today, you will not have solved that part of the law.
Mm-hmm. They captured it very well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they captured it so well, and I'm happy they have captured it so well. And they have been listening to us and they captured it so well. And that's very good for the interests of the people of Kenya.
Mm-hmm. All right. I don't know if Karanja is still there.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. This ruling by Justice Weldon Korir that says, first, consultation was not really carried out very widely, and for the interest of Kenya and what is good for the people of Kenya is not really to dissolve Parliament. He said it is important to observe that this is a matter of public interest, not to subject the country to parliamentary elections before exhaustively interrogating the constitutionality of the CJ's decision. In other words, have we exhausted all other avenues that we have before even considering the dissolution of Parliament?
Yeah, and I agree with that judgment. What he is saying.
We seem to be having also a problem. We can't hear you clearly, Jevan.
Yes.
Okay, we are also having a problem there. Today we are having a problem with signal. Only mine and Doctor's is perfect. The rest we are having a bit of a challenge there. I don't know, Karanja, if you can hear me, you can repeat again because we missed what you said there earlier.
Okay, Karanja, we shall come back to you. Let's move on to another topic. And I agree with Ina Hassan. Those are my sentiments. There's something outside, someone inside and outside.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, next is, tell us, Miriam.
Okay, so the next, what we have here, next is, where is that? I think that bad connection there must have really, All right. I think the Msambweni by-elections, also that is something that made headlines over this week. Jubilee Party came out and said, we are not going to field a candidate as a Jubilee Party because of for the interest of the handshake and what we are in right now as a country. So we will just let that be. And we saw that did not sit very well with Deputy President William Ruto, although he came out and said, I'm supporting the Jubilee Party decision. I'm supporting and I'm for that decision. But on the other side, we saw him yesterday receiving an independent candidate. So, is Deputy President speaking from both sides of his mouth?
Miriam, he has been speaking from both sides for a long time. And it is not the first time, but the bottom line is, what is in Jubilee is embarrassment. As you saw in my clip there, it's very big embarrassment. Why these people cannot sort this matter amicably behind the scenes without bringing in the public. All these actions, Miriam, they are heading to despondence. Mm-hmm. Thank you.
All right.
Next.
And that's it, Doctor. Yeah. All right, unless we look at other stories outside of Kenya also that happened over this week.
I have sent a lot of stories to Sam.
Yes.
Yeah, Sam, can you bring the next story? we look at the development of the airport, London, Jomo Kenyatta Airport and City of Nairobi connection, the drilling of.
Oh, it has started. That road has started. I see
Yes.
they're working there right now, and it has started. I think from last week, it has really been serious there. So they've started, making that road. So, yeah.
So that is going on. The railway link, overland light railway, or highway, whatever call it.
It's a highway.
Link
Yes.
tram is going on, and that is one of the areas of President Uhuru Kenyatta. I wish, there you are. These are some of the things behind all this bad politics and bad names. These are some of the things that are making very good headlines, and that is one of them. The railway and the link between Jomo Kenyatta Airport and the town. People were opposed to it. Some people even almost lost appointment. So many things happened. So this is progress. This is one of the aspects where President Uhuru Kenyatta is concentrating, working while people are on politics. I wish they all put their heads together and worked together. Things will be very all right.
I think this will go a long way in easing, a lot of, the traffic that we see there, especially
the traffic congestion. Yeah.
The airport. You have to leave like 3 hours early or 4 hours early for you to be able to make it there on time, because the traffic from the JKIA on Mombasa Road or whichever side, or even if you decide to use Njogoo Road, is usually very out of just so much. So I think that will go a long way in easing out that traffic, and now you can be assured of catching your flight on time without wasting so much time seated on traffic there. So I think it will go a long way in easing out the traffic there.
That's true. And any comment from Karen?
Yes, you're very correct, Miriam. It will ease the whole traveling thing. You do not have to get there. You don't have to leave your place much earlier, get inconvenience, be on the road for so long. And I also agree on the leaders working on taking this country somewhere. And like what we're just seeing, let us make it easier for the citizens to access the places of work, to access services they're supposed they need, other than getting so much into politics, and we forget why we are there. We are there to push this country forward. And when somebody does something good, you're supposed to give the credit, just the way President Uhuru has here. He deserves it.
All right, very well. And even the works have started around, I think, Westlands and all that. So I'm sure in the next few months, we shall see that road in use. And just to add on what Doctor, you mentioned there, the military, and perhaps why President Uhuru Kenyatta is even choosing to use the military in developmental aspects, or involving the military in building the country, is because perhaps the military really they're taught to obey orders, so they don't question or bring a lot of politics around. When you're told to do something, they do it. And we saw yesterday President Uhuru Kenyatta lauded the Kenya Defence Forces for its role in development of infrastructural projects across the country. Uhuru singled out rehabilitation works on Nairobi-Nanyuki meter gauge line, the Kisumu port by Kenya Navy, and the ongoing Nakuru-Kisumu line among national projects executed by the soldiers. The president was speaking yesterday when he presided over a pass-out parade of KDF cadets in Eldoret. The head of state officiated the graduation of the new KDF soldiers at RTS Moyo Barracks in Uasin Gishu County, in an event where soldiers, parents, guardians, and friends were barred from entry in line with the COVID-19 protocols on gatherings. There were no PSB matatu, school buses, and private vehicles as witnessed in the past. But While congratulating the KDF for the success in training of the new soldiers, President Kenyatta said that COVID-19 pandemic had caused a lot of damage in the world, compelling institutions to adopt measures of a new normal in the way of doing things. But what we see there, the general story there, is President Uhuru Kenyatta appreciating the effort that and the contribution by our KDF, especially during this period of COVID-19, and even for infrastructural rehabilitation there, the Nairobi Nanyuki Highway meter gauge line. I did not even know that that KDF was doing that.
Yes, it was. Mm-hmm. Look, Karanja, before you come in, most armies in the world, mm-hmm. the Great Army of China, mm-hmm. the Russian Army, the American Army, the British Army, they have departments for agriculture, mm-hmm. they have departments for engineering, they have departments for so many, mm-hmm. other fields. They have departments for even research into disease, medical corps. Haven't you seen the medical corps in the army?
Yes.
They are very active.
Doctors, yes.
The Ugandan army, for example, mm-hmm. the UPDF, is involved in so many activities. They are producing food. That's why Uganda is not in a shortage of food. Mm-hmm. You can't keep the army without production. The Kenyan army is very, 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 very experienced. And there are certain fields research which they can do, not for business ventures, but they can do those things, without wasting a lot of resources. Mm-hmm. Engineering is part of the army. Every country has got, there is nowhere in the army does not take part. In Britain itself, army takes part. If there are floods, army comes in. You see? Mm-hmm. The army comes in to take people to make sure block the roads, unblock the drainage. Army comes in, army works together. It's only that the army does not get involved in the politics. That is all. You don't find an army man in Britain or America or where, but they are doing some work. Behind the scenes, they do work. Engineering. Look at the prisons. For example, in Rwanda, I had a smaller contract there where I used to take prison chairs and furniture to Belgium. They export prison, that's an industry of the whole Ministry of Internal Affairs. So the army works everywhere, they do work. The security agencies work, they can build houses. So if the president is deploying them, there is no war here now. They can be deployed to do some work and finish. There's no problem there. Mm-hmm. I agree.
All right, absolutely. Karen, President Uhuru Kenyatta, there being the Commander-in-Chief, really appreciated the work that KDF is doing outside of what they are known to do, that is protecting the country, but also getting involved now in the developmental issues of the country.
Nowadays, Miriam, when they are they're recruiting the KDFs, they just don't look at your physical capability. They look at what else have you done, So it's a very good move. You're not just picking. You're picking somebody who can multitask. This person can go to the field, and get back and protect the country. And I'm glad that they're involved in issues to do with development and even coming in to make roads and all of that. Because with them, the level of discipline does not even allow them to entertain corruption.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very well.
Not entertain corruption and these other vices. So he did the right thing to involve the KDF. And like I said, the level of discipline is very high.
All right.
I think most of the people who are against the involvement of KDF are corrupt people. Because it is very difficult to corrupt the army. How will you corrupt them? Utawapata wapi? How do you start? How do you start to corrupt the army? So the people making noise are the people who are used to corrupt procurement bodies. They find them in the president's office. But can you now go to that general, you try to go to the general headquarters up in Kilimani near the embassy of China. It will take you almost 1 hour to reach the office you wanted. So the army has got discipline. They agree they have some work to do. And that is all. Next, there is a clip by one of the pastors.
Yes, and as we wait for that clip, production, is it ready? All right, it is ready.
Njia moja ya kujua mtu si wa mbinguni.
Every young person listening to us this evening, they are entitled to a 1-year internship program paid for by the government of Kenya.
Ne kuongea uongo baada ya uongo. Alafu Jumapili tuko kanisani tumeinua mikono, watu wanafikiria sisi ni wazuri. Kumbe ni waizi nyumbani mwa Bwana. Na unaona mtu ameshika Biblia unafikiria anaongea ukweli. Ni uongo.
All right. Doctor, you must have watched that clip earlier. It's just showing on my screen, so.
Yeah, that guy, the bishop, is simply saying, stop telling lies. If you are going to the court, tell the truth in the church. Don't tell a lie while you are in church. That is all he meant. Thank you.
Right, very well. And Dr. Even as we look at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy and the things that he's been quite involved lately. I think he's been quite hands-on. We see him showing up and announced that one such visit he made is that he made in Kisumu to inspect how the Kisumu port was undergoing. President Uhuru Kenyatta showed up there without even anybody knowing there. So it was not the first time Mr. Kenyatta was quietly traveling to the lakeside city to personally inspect port infrastructure projects, sometimes with a scaled-down security detail. So perhaps President Uhuru Kenyatta realized when you involve too much of the political leaders, it will be just a lot of bickering and all of that. So is that why perhaps President Uhuru Kenyatta now has decided, one, if this is what we agreed we are going to do, then I will show up personally to see that is what is actually being done. And also, just by him not even involving the governors, the MPs from that area and all that, is it just trying to separate politics like we've seen him doing of late? Because sometimes when it's too much politicking, you even lose the point, and whatever is being done is not able to be highlighted effectively.
I think you are right, and the president has now taken it upon himself to finalize some of these projects to keep the legacy going, the agenda, Big Four. We thank him and we encourage him to do so without any hesitation. The remaining years can bear some fruits of some things, leave something working. Let the other people complete. Thank you. Next.
Okay.
Next is the African Union. The African Union lady, who was a great friend of mine, was lambasting the lenders, World Bank, IMF. You go and borrow the money at the same rate with the country which is already developed. Now, when will you develop? So, Miriam, in the absence of all that, it is exactly one
5 minutes to noon here. But Doctor, before we go, some news yesterday from Mozambique. President Filipe Nyusi officially, formally now invited the EU to come in and helping him out in the fight against Al-Shabaab in the country. And I was just looking at it in my afternoon and I wondered, President Filipe Nyusi, is he inviting for help, or is he inviting a lot of proxy wars? Is he inviting more compounded problems? What is he inviting in Mozambique?
Is bringing in more chaos for the region.
Mm-hmm.
That is the way I told you that war is specifically entering Zimbabwe. The Zimbabweans must be on standby, on guard, to repulse any actions. You know, they will start like that and then the rebels will jump into Harare. So it is, this thing was there. Qatar, what's the EU going to do? EU is manned by now. France is the biggest partner in the European Union. And they are the people behind the Qatar. The oil reserves, the gas in the northern Mozambique and southern Tanzania. I mean, we are just wasting time. This proxy war is here. It will not go away. Thank you very much.
All right. So perhaps we get the final submissions from the rest of the panelists, and then we can call it a day. Karen, everything we've spoken about today, we were looking at the news, the week that was. What stood out for you this week as we conclude?
What stood out for me is Maraga's case and how far it has gone. And I like the fact that Dr. Matanga summarized it all for us in that interview. He just talked about everything we've had, over the week, about the wrong timing, it coming over the wrong timing, and that we're not ready to have elections right now. We do not have a constituted IBC, and we do not even have confidence in the commission itself. So this whole thing is a scheme, and we are saying that it's misleading. The advice is very misleading, and we agree that we cannot go for the fourth option you gave us, Miriam, yesterday on dissolving the government. That is unthinkable. It's out of the question. So based on that, that was what actually caught my attention. And you've all
All right, very well.
who are saying they can see anything going on, to know that yes, it's going on, and he is there to make sure that it's done the right way. And you remember the picture of the mattresses, and we said if you are to tell people to go and do a follow-up, they will tell you want to go to Mombasa first, and then after that you go to so he is cutting this whole long process into making it short, going there himself and going there unannounced. So that is good. We commend him for doing that, and we also commend him for handing over the Air Force, the issue of the planes, and I'm glad that they'll be able to watch it keenly, and we will avoid dealing with accidents that we could be avoided. I'm very sure, Miriam, these accidents we've had before, they could have been avoided, but because we did not have the right people handling the right things, things happened the way they did. But that is what caught my attention this week, and thank you for bringing the issue of Dr. Matanga. In his writing in the morning, he talked of we're not militarizing Kenya. That is something that I want to leave Kenyans today. We're not militarizing Kenya. We're doing it for the safety of these Kenyans. So that is all, Miriam.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Karanja.
Yes.
Final words, parting shot.
Yeah, first of all, I want to agree with Nashikori, and what Chief Justice did was out of consultation, and he's working under pressure to ensure that the legacy of President Uhuru Kenyatta is stabilized. And I want to urge Kenyans not to take this seriously, because they want to destabilize our country and they want to take us to jail. And we know they are working under pressure. There are people inside this country who want to get power by all means. We saw it yesterday when people are complaining of a rigged elections way before 2 years before a general election. And they are in the government, and instead of working to ensure that we have reforms in the IEC, to have a credible electioneering body, they are busy destabilizing the records of the president. They are busy destabilizing the government that they were elected to serve. Therefore, my parting shot is to say that the Jubilee government is Uhuru is advised well when he is using the military officers, and we saw the good work that is being done by General Bali in Nairobi. And I think if you see the railway line, how it was done, it was completed in time, and the military, they don't go the corrupt way. They are not corrupt. I think the government is doing well, and I think as Kenyans of goodwill, we should support President to finish his work that is mandated by the people of Kenya. And those people who think that they will destabilize the government, they should also know that the president has supporters. He has people who support him. He has people who voted for him, and he has people who want the best for this country. And then on the issue of dissolvement of the parliament, I think DJ Maraga should he should retire, please. He has done a lot in this country, and he has made a lot of things instead of projecting the cases that we have in our court. He is busy working with people who are promising him heaven, and I think he should also save himself from those people because at the end of the day, these people are giving a clear message that in case that election they lose that election, we should be prepared for arresting on that. Therefore, I wish a good week, and it's a week that we continue next week because a lot of things will be unfolding through the weekend. As we know, a lot of political rallies will go on, and those people who attend the church, we know them, and I think they have something to say. Yesterday, they think that if they lose election, they will not accept the results. And on the issue of COVID-19, Kenyans should continue following the government regulations, and they should sanitize, wash their hands, and they should avoid those gatherings. And that schools should remain as they are. The Ministry of Education, they should not be encouraged to reopen the school, and they should not work under pressure. But the Kenya, if they have schools that they think they can sell, they can keep free. For now, let's keep remain at home, and the country will go on well. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much there, Karanja, our correspondent from Nanyuki. And of course, this week, the government made it clear through the Ministry of Education, and they gave the official dates that the schools will be reopening. So I think that is also something very important that happened this week. Doctor, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Miriam. Let me just wind up by saying, I want to thank you very much. I think the UNFILTERED will be done on Friday. We pick topics and put them under UNFILTERED. Let's look for any outstanding stories that make the week, whether videos or anything. For example, there's a man who has bought land for the wife on the moon.
Huh?
Yes, from Pakistan.
Okay.
A billionaire.
Who is issuing the title deeds in the moon?
I think God. I don't know.
We try to.
But it's one of the most exciting stories.
I think it's so interesting. I look for it. I've not seen that.
Karen, have you come across it on social media?
Do they have the Ministry of Lands in the moon? I need to find out. Who's?
Pakistan is bought his wife a plot in the moon.
Okay.
In space.
Now they have a rocket or something to take her there every now and then.
Yeah, on the space station. Because you remember there's a space station up there where people are buying apartments. So he bought an apartment.
Doctor.
He must be loving this woman, I tell you.
To the moon and back. Oh, literally, he's taken that thing normally people like saying, I love you to the moon and back. I think he's taken it very literal there. I don't want to go to the moon.
I took it like, I'll take you to the moon and
I love you
back.
to the moon and back. So because of that, I'll take you to the moon and have you humble abode over now.
Yeah.
That is something. I'll look for that story. Thank you so much. Thank you, Karen from Malindi. Thank you, Javan Karanja from Nanyuki, and Dr. David Matanga from the Political Command Center. My name is Miriam Ogutu from Punchline, our television headquarters here in Nairobi. And for now, it's bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.